E-Train.
Let's go, baby.
What's
Not
happening,
much.
man?
Not much. We're just trying to win this baseball match on Luke Dreamweaver night.
What a hell of a start, man.
He's pretty good. Sometimes he's pretty good. Most of the time he's not, but sometimes.
It would be like the most that's baseball thing ever to, like have one of his only losses on an actual quality start. Like
that would be
stupid sometimes.
Just a magic. Just baseball is just such a magical sport, man. I want this run. I need the Reds to tie it just so we can get another no decision for him, though. That's what we need here.
That's true. That's a good point. Good point. You know what? I'm not prepared here. I need to bring up the game cast so people know what the hell we're actually talking about.
Okay.
All right. How's your night going, buddy?
It's going good. It's going good. I was watching the game with my dad downstairs. I think this Saturday might have been one of my favorite Saturdays ever. Just good weather, a little hot, but it was just a good day. Just a good day today.
What was the weather like in Cincy? Up here in the Cleveland area was like mid-70s.
It was getting close to 90. So it was warm. But other than that, it was good. When it's super, super hot, I feel like it kind of nulls out. Oh, that's a horrible swing. I mean, that's just the worst swing I've ever seen. What are we doing, Spencer? What are we doing, man? But yeah, it kind of neutralizes my allergies a little bit. My allergies have been so bad during this weather, man. Just horrible. Horrible. Oh, that swing is ugly.
Yeah. It's a good pitcher, man. These relievers, when you get into the back end of the Dodgers bullpen, it may not be Milwaukee, but it's
yeah.
It's not far off. The dong. I love it. I know you love that.
I love it, baby. Nick, how was your Saturday?
It was good. Went to a little birthday party for someone that's related to us. It's cousin-ish, one of those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, nice day. Now a little late night Reds baseball. Well, this one's flown by. Last night's game was much more of a grind, and here we are. We're just barely over 2 hours in, and we're 2 outs in the eighth.
Do you think that rule change to like cut the game shorter? Do you think that helped the sport overall?
Oh yeah, no question about it. I don't know if like that's the reason for the attendance numbers. I know a lot of people pointed to that. I think in the long run it will help it. It's hard to say that like helped it right away, but I think long term it's definitely going to have a lot of positive impact for the game. I just think it's a lot easier for more casual baseball fans to turn on a game and be able to watch the whole thing, as opposed to not before. Like, you'd watch an hour and a half, 2 hours, and like, yeah, this game's still got like 2 hours left. I'm out. Not me, but the rule changes are never meant for the diehard baseball fans for the most part. I think that's what we got to remember.
It's for the casuals.
The cash. Wow. CJ
wants to know if I was a sweaty, wet boy today. I was sweaty. Did that in turn make me wet? I don't know. You'll have to ask somebody else, but I was sweating today. Yeah.
It's a fair point by Nate. Lost his magic because he didn't, Luke, you got to give him a couple more runs, man. Like, this isn't how we do it.
As crazy as it is, whenever Luke Weaver has like a good outing, and it happens like once every 5 starts, he'll genuinely pitch a good game. The offense doesn't wake up for those games. It's literally only when he gives up 5 runs in the first inning. And then the magic kicks on. But the magic didn't kick on today. He was too good. He broke the magic.
Dodgers bringing in their closer for a 4-out save. That's some respect to number 19.
Yeah, it is. Joey boosting the OBP numbers today. I respect it.
Yeah. All right. I got to get this up.
Don't swing, Joseph. Don't swing. Yeah, I will sing Dreamweaver live on air if the Reds come back and win this. I promise you that.
The full song?
The full full song, Nick. Come on, Nick. Nick. What a hole. What a hole you just put. What a hole you just put me in.
Chorus and a bridge.
Yeah. 3-2 pitch, Joseph. Hard hit. Oh, Joseph.
Oh, you're a little bit ahead of me here.
Am I? Good.
I'm still watching CES in the on deck circle.
No, no.
Come on, DirecTV, get it together.
Spectrum, baby.
All right. Well,
head of the ninth, or bottom of the eighth, but need the ninth to score.
Who are we gonna have? CES, Benson. I assume Luke Maley would definitely not hit.
I think you're correct, but that means India would have to hit, right?
Yeah. Is he available? That's the big
He's
question.
Available. He's available. Come on.
Yeah, I think it's probably CES, Benson, India. I mean, that's not a bad spot. I mean, I've seen a few worse bottom of the orders in Cincinnati Reds baseball history. So who are we bringing in here? Is Cruz getting another inning?
God, I hope not.
Buck Farmer's coming in.
I hate Fernando Cruz. I know you love him, Nick. I know you love him. I know some stats deep down the line on Baseball Reference, on like the 7th page of Baseball Reference, they say he's a good pitcher, but man, I can't do it. I can't do Fernando Cruz.
Have you seen E-Train? Have you seen Indy in the dugout tonight? I gotta be honest, I wasn't paying
I have
that
not.
close attention.
I have not seen Jonathan India in the dugout. I could have not been looking for him, but I know there was no memorable moment where they showed him on screen.
Yeah, it's tough, David. It's tough. I don't know, man.
Game's not over. Game's not over. Keep the vibes up. Come on, guys.
Well, hi, Michael. How you doing? That's what I want.
Mike, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, Alex, I think you're right. Yeah, I
Shout out Kevin Newman today. He was put on the fart IL. Came back with a big sac fly today. First game since like July 9th or something.
Yeah. You know, Kevin Newman, he's roll out of bed and take hacks.
Some are saying this could be Kevin Newman's last stand as a Red this week here.
Yeah.
Some are saying.
I think it's pretty much for sure one of Newman, Senzel, or India. I don't know if that's really that hot of a take, but I think one of them are for sure, just about for sure gone at the deadline. I would be shocked if one of them aren't moved. Maybe two.
I think you're right. Maley has cemented himself as the second catcher on the team, which is good. Makes the easy cut for Kurt Casale if they ever were to go to that.
Well, they might just try to have Kurt, stay on the IL until September 1st when they can go to 28 men.
That's true.
I mean,
Sir Boy, what's up, buddy?
In all seriousness, I don't really know if Kurt even needs a rehab assignment the way that they play him. But I mean, he's literally about 8 days away from where you can send him on a rehab assignment and get you all the way to September 1st. And this is a good comment though here, and I legitimately think that the Reds are keeping their options open here. I'm not saying they're for sure going to trade a catcher, but I wouldn't be shocked if they. I would bet they have been shopping Luke Maile right now. Maybe even Kirk Casale too. Although if he's on the IL, it's probably hard to trade him. But
yep. Padres need one, don't they?
I don't. Are the Padres buyers or I don't even know. Like
they have to be buyers. They have to. They're too far in.
We'll save this for the actual show because
Yeah.
I'm not looking at midnight to be editing out the podcast and but we'll definitely get to that for sure. Hi, Mark.
Mark, what's up, buddy?
Hope
That's
your
my guy,
night's
Mark.
Going well, Mark.
Oh,
MARC is a power spelling of Mark. Let's definitely call that what it is.
Yeah, it is. That. When you spell your name MARC, you know you're going to get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
You know it. I respect it. Buck Farmer. What a guy, Buck Farmer.
He struggled a little bit of late, so this is
he has.
Big inning for him. Get that mojo back, Buck.
There we go. Maybe. No, never mind.
You're so far ahead of me.
I love it, Nick. I hope the Reds hit a 3-run shot in the 9th.
I also hope the Reds hit a 3-run shot in the 9th. I will be behind for that. Interesting thing the Reds could do here. Not saying they'll do it. Buck Farmer is a expiring contract. He's a free agent at the end of the year. Although I wouldn't be against the Reds trying to bring him back too, if he's comfortable here and whatnot. But they could trade Buck Farmer and also go out and get a left-handed reliever. Kind of do 2 moves, where you're kind of...
Yeah. Buck Farmer, a big one right there.
It seems like a Nick Kroll special.
They need a lefty bat. I mean, they need a left-handed reliever badly.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Alex Young putting the team on his back.
Well, I think if you had a left-handed reliever, a second one, I don't think Weaver faces Max Muncy for a third time.
Yeah, you're right.
But, I mean, Alex Young, he pitched, I think he faced 4 batters last night. I mean, you can't just keep running him out there.
No.
In a spot, there's no one on base. It's kind of a...
Sadak said, every stat I hear of Luke Weaver, my guy, batters are hitting .315 against Luke Weaver. Lefties are hitting .315 against Luke Weaver this season. Second worst in Major League Baseball.
Hey, 6 innings, 1 earned run. That's all I'm looking. 2 hits, 1 earned run. 2 hits.
I love it. Listen, I'm going on a victory lap tonight. Win or lose, Luke Weaver cementing his place in this rotation, man. I don't care what his numbers are. Every number he has is so bad. Alex Wallace.
That's a good point about, you're going to have to move some guys around for roster spots if you're bringing guys on. Because I don't think they're dumping Luke Weaver if they add a starter. I think they're going to give him a chance in the bullpen. I don't think he has options. Can't send him down AAA.
No.
And I think you want those innings that he could give you. As much as people hate innings eaters, that term, it's a real thing.
100%. I would be concerned about Luke Weaver in the bullpen, though. That would not be a fun experience.
Well, I would be interested to see. I mean, number one, you could use him as just a straight up mop up guy. Reds don't really have that.
Yeah.
Or I'd be curious if you went out, you tell Luke, we only want you to go 1 inning at a time. Could he get that velocity up a little bit? Could he be maybe a little bit more effective if he, knows that? There's been a lot of players that's been the case.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Buck Farmer. Hell yeah, Buck.
Head to the 9th.
All right.
Heading to the 9th. Love our chances. Love them.
Came back on Evan Phillips before.
We can do it. And what people don't realize...
Will Benson's first career home run was against Evan Phillips.
That's right. That's right.
First career. So there you go.
People don't realize it's Dreamweaver night. The night continues through the 9th. There's still a chance here,
If they
guys.
come back here, I mean, you have to realize this that there's some serious magic going on.
If the Reds win this today, I might do the rest of the show in my hot tub outside.
Oh wow.
I might just go outside and just do the show in the hot tub. Just do a victory hot tub show.
Evan Williams has pitched 41 times this year. He's only allowed runs. It's not even earned runs in 5 of those games. One of those was to the Reds when he gave up 2. So
here we go. I hate this stupid ostrich commercial. just an absurd commercial. The heart of the lineup is coming up. Some would say. Do we think it's India?
The bottom part of the lineup. I think it's probably India. Or it's Tyler Stevenson.
Okay, let me ask you this though: would you rather it be Stevenson or Maley? I'd rather it be Maley at this point. I think.
That's a tough one. I think Dave Bell rather be Tyler Stevenson.
Correct.
But I mean, Maley did double tonight. He's got a higher OPS this year.
Maley 6 for his last 12. 6 for his last 12 with a home run.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe you do just let it ride. I'd rather have India for sure, though. If India's available.
Interesting. I'm glad you said that.
I would rather, yeah. I would rather have India than Luke Maley or Tyler Stevenson.
A little tryout for the Oakland A's. All right.
Nah.
Let's go. It's not me, it's you. It's you. You want him out of here. you paid for his plane ticket.
Me. Votto's struggles have made me a little more hesitant to trade India right now. I will say that.
I think, people don't like Joey Votto right now. I do think there is a place for him if he can somehow hit a home run tomorrow or the next couple days. A home run a week for Joey Votto keeps him well in play to stay on this team.
For sure. I'm not saying you need to make a move right now or anything. I'm not saying you need to dump him from the lineup. But I'm saying, you can't change that. If you trade John, then you can't go back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's say he just has another 2 weeks where, he goes for another 20. Then I think you're really kind of getting into a tough situation where you might regret trading India.
Yeah. Balls in the air, Nick. Balls in the air, Nick.
So far behind.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? That's a tough one.
Sheesh. That's tough.
Shout out Jason Hayward, though. Nobody's ripped off the Chicago Cubs more than that guy did.
Yeah, but Alex, the one thing I would point out here is, let's say Votto got to a point where, look, he gets hurt, because he could very well get hurt. CS and India could both play every day. That wouldn't be an issue, because now Noah V. Marte would be the possibility, but I don't know if I want to count on another rookie. I'm not against bringing up Noah V. Marte and adding him into the mix, but I don't know if I want to bank on another one.
I don't think Noel's going to come up this year. I could be wrong on that. I don't think we see him. They get the extra spot in August, right? Or September?
Yeah, I think he's definitely up in September. The thing you also have to remember is, minor league baseball doesn't play games after the second week in September. So it's not like he, if he comes up and is a bench bat or a platoon guy, that's fine, because he doesn't have anywhere else to play. I think that's more. I think that unless they trade India, I think if you keep, I think he's probably down until the rosters expand.
Yeah,
unless there's an injury.
Do you think if Barrero stays hot, he would get the nod instead of Noelvi?
Yeah, that's I don't know.
Oh, that's tough, man. Oh, that is so bad. Come on, Willie. Got to swing the bat, brother. Come on.
Man, that's so tough, Willie. You gotta swing the bat. That was a pretty good pitch.
Down to our last out. Everybody, let's go. Positive vibes. Tyler Stevenson. Certainly not going to hit a home run, but maybe he gets a walk. Give me a 4-pitch walk, Phillips. Come on, baby.
Oh, Tyler Stevenson is. I told you David Bell trusts him. I do think Tyler Stevenson probably is.
Did he call that a strike?
Especially in, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, Elliot.
Nick, look at this pitch.
Oh my God!
What are we doing?
Like that first pitch to McLean.
Sorry, Nick. This is brutal for Nick. I mean, this is just brutal for the host of this show, Nick Kirby. Rally caps on, though.
Yeah,
Rally caps
there
on.
we go. There we go. Hell yeah, David Bell. Hell yeah, David Bell.
David Bell. David Bell's on an absolute heater right now. Not a hot heater.
Hey, you know what? I'm pretty glad. Knock on wood. I'm pretty glad Ellie De La Cruz hit leadoff right now. This is why you want him in leadoff. You know. Come on, Ellie. Come on, Ellie. They pinch.
So if something,
if only had 3 catchers, you could pinch run here.
If something good happens, do you want me to react or do you want me to just wait until you react?
You can react. I want realness here.
Okay. Yeah, don't swing at that garbage.
Steal
Here we
base,
go,
Tyler.
Come on. Don't. No. Please don't. No, please don't.
Please, God, no.
Michael Scott. Imagine this game ends on a Tyler Stevenson stolen base attempt. Be brutal.
I might have to delete the Twitter app. just open the phone and delete it.
Nick, this is a tough one. This is a brutal one.
Guessing this doesn't go well.
But you can't win every game in Los Angeles. You can't win them all. And as the Dodgers do a dance in my face, but that's okay. Can't win them all. Can't win them all.
High drive, left center field, racing back to the Laurent Bourgeois. The Reds are National League Central Division champions. In the air, left center field. Did he? He did! He did! Red win! Win! Line to the right field. Genius, the first run ever with 4 home runs in a game. Can you believe it? In the air, down the right field line. Doesn't have a chance. The Reds have won on a 3-run home run on opening day by Ramon Hernandez. A strike away and out away is Homer Bailey. Ground ball to third. Frazier gloves. Throw to first, and Homer Bailey, for the second time in his major league career, has tossed the no-hitter. Oh, gosh. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Holy Moses, the second player in major league history to hit 7 home runs in the first 10 games. In the air, and the Reds win. What a dream beginning to the career of Jay Bruce.
All right, Nick Kirby, joined by the Zebra, Elliot Rearing. Welcome to Chatterbox Reds, live post-game show presented by Betfred Sportsbook. Zebra, the Dreamweaver.
Let's go, baby.
Dreamweaver magic. Is it dead?
Many people are asking. It's not dead. It just didn't go the way it was supposed to go. He was supposed to give up 7 runs in the first opposed to just the 2. The offense, they thought he had it in the bag with just throwing a scoreless gem through 6 innings. But great outing from Luke. I'm happy for him because it keeps him on this roster for a little bit while longer, maybe past the trade deadline. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right, right into it. Hey, Dustin, shout out. Thanks for the super chat. I guess we'll jump right into this question. When are we allowed to be concerned about Ellie? I don't know. You got any thoughts on this? I feel like I've really exhausted this topic this year.
I don't mean to be this guy, but respectfully, you're not allowed to be concerned about Ellie. Ellie, with what even his struggles at the plate or whatever, what he makes up for on defense is good enough alone for him to be in the majors at this point. And I think with rookies, especially how young Ellie De La Cruz is, this type of thing's going to happen. I know it's been bad. He's been truly, truly atrocious at the leadoff spot. I think there's going to be a time within the next week or so that's going to change. He's going to go back to 3 or 4. But no, Ellie De La Cruz, don't panic about Ellie De La Cruz. He's a phenomenal defender. I'd argue one of the best defenders in the league already at this point. So the bat will come. He's had 3 hits in his past 3 games. Just keep working on it. Keep grinding. He had a double today. We're okay. But I will say some of the at-bats for him are ugly. It's just like it's almost some of them are just non-competitive. Any breaking ball towards the later part of the at-bat's just not going to get hit. And that's what if you have a concern, that would be the concern on a small scale, but large scale, no concerns for Ellie De La Cruz. Absolutely none.
Yeah, I mean, he does still have a 758 OPS. I mean, this is a rookie. I mean, that's well above average. Tonight, he had a doubles, 104.9 off the bat. He had a flyout at 99.6. That last, not the last one, the pop out against Gratterall was 92.4. So overall, man, I think he hit the ball pretty hard tonight. Look, I like him in the leadoff spot. I think you just keep riding that out. I don't know, but let's do a quick box score recap. Again, not a whole lot to really get into here. Dodgers took a 2-0 lead on a Max Muncy homer in the first. There was an error right before that really, put Luke Weaver behind the 8-ball, error by Spencer Steer, and then after that, Luke Weaver was really, really good. I mean, pitched really well. Reds got it going in the 6th. Had some good at bats and some not good at bats in that inning.
Yep.
Where they saw some strike threes. They had strike threes looking. But Spencer Steer had a big RBI single to tie the game up at 2, and then Luke Weaver 2 outs in the 6th gave up a second home run to Max Muncy on a 3-0 pitch. I'm assuming not expecting Muncy to swing. Let's get into it first. Let's start talking about Luke Weaver. I mean, look, I'll start off by this. I think that the Reds should still look to be replacing Luke Weaver at some point. We'll get into one of the big rumors that's kind of going around today, and if we think it's worthwhile or not here at the end. I do think the Reds should be looking to remove Luke Weaver from the rotation. I do think he still could be a valuable contributor to this team, either as a long man, mop-up man, or I even think that you tell Luke Weaver, hey, we're going to make you be like our 5th or 6th option as a reliever, but we're only going to use you for an inning at a time. I think Luke Weaver could potentially up his velocity, maybe be a little more, focused. There's been a lot of starting pitchers that have been cut down to shorter roles that have had some success. So I still think Luke Weaver would be valuable. I still think he should be removed from the rotation, but this was as good of a start as you possibly could have asked for him against the Los Angeles Dodgers at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, and as much as I like to play up the shtick, Luke Weaver's objectively bad. I would say if you have to rank the pitchers in the MLB, starting pitchers in the MLB this season, he's bottom 3 in all of Major League Baseball. I mean, it's objectively, it just hasn't worked. I don't know what the plan would be. I mean, he was signed to be a reliever, right, Nick? That was the initial plan.
He was signed to be an option as a starter.
Okay.
If everything went well, be a reliever, kind of as both. But the Reds did bring him in with the thought of having him start as an option.
Because to your point, I do think there is a different mindset that a pitcher has when he comes in knowing, all right, I'm just going to get a couple outs opposed to I need to go 6 innings to spare my bullpen, right? I think there's a lot more weight on the shoulders when you're a starting pitcher. And you look at Luis Cessa, just fell under the pressure. It didn't work, right? Luis Cessa was a very good reliever. He was an above average reliever. You move him to the starting role, failed, crumbled under the pressure. I think Luke Weaver could be a decent role towards, I don't know. I still don't want him in a high leverage bullpen role. But Nick said it earlier. I think if you put him in up 4 runs in the 9th instead of Levi Stout, I love our chances to get out of the game with a win.
Yeah. And I think the bigger issue here is the Reds need a second left-handed reliever.
Yes.
If they had a second left-handed reliever, Luke Weaver doesn't face Max Muncy, I don't think, in the 6th inning for a third time in the game. I think you bring in a lefty. Max Muncy's a guy who has significant, and I mean significant splits, left, right, and you bring him in, and then Luke Weaver pitches 5 2/3 great innings, and you move on. And look, that's not the reason the Reds lost this game. They only scored 2 runs. You're not going to win a whole lot of games when you score 2 runs. But that I think is the bigger issue here for the Reds going forward.
Luke Weaver has, by the way, here's a stat for you. Stat of the day. Luke Weaver has now given up 20 first inning runs in his last 10 starts. It just, my guy, I mean, there is a magic to it. Like if the Reds were to win tonight, right? I do think like there's a role for him. Just because of the magic alone. I don't know how it would work with Nick Krall. I don't know what he would factor into the decision to keeping Luke Weaver. But at some point you look at Luke Weaver and you're like, all right, the Reds genuinely don't lose when this guy pitches. And every statistic, every metric says he's horrible. But the Reds find a way to play competitive baseball when he's on the mound. So I don't know if that has value if you're Nick Krall. And if it does, you keep him along. If it doesn't, you ship him. Either way, it's a win-win for the Reds, in my opinion. I don't think Luke Weaver is going to kill this team in the long run. But I could be wrong.
Yeah. We'll get into the trade deadline here a little bit later on in the show. Tough night in some ways for the Reds offense. 2 runs on 7 hits, whereas the Dodgers had 3 runs on 2 hits tonight.
Yeah.
That's obviously kind of a little bit of a bummer as you're trying to look at this game objectively. Like I mentioned as we were talking about Elly De La Cruz a second ago, I mean, he did have 2 hard hit balls tonight. There was a nice at bat by, not a nice at bat. TJ Friedel had a big spot in this game. I know our leader Trace Fowler pointed out on Twitter about how Friedel took second base when Hayward tried to throw home to get Elly De La Cruz when Elly scored run number 1, and then Steer drove TJ Friedel in. So that was a big spot from him. Votto had 2 walks. CES had a really, really good at bat in this game. I don't know. What's your overall thoughts on the offense tonight?
It's bad. And I am a little, if there's a worry about this team right now, it's that they're not going to be able to keep up the high offensive production that they had during that, 30, 40 game stretch. I think the Reds are going to be okay. I don't think this is worrisome yet, but the Brewers completely dominate us, completely dominate the offense. And now you look at here, they score 2 runs. I mean, the 2 runs were great. Like you said, the small ball the Reds play is best in baseball, in my opinion. It's kept us in games the whole way. It's kept us winning close games the whole way. But I do think Elly De La Cruz, Spencer Steer, guys that have been slumping for quite some time now, TJ Friedel, these guys have to step up. They have to come back to earth eventually. They've been down below earth. They need to come back to earth at some point here. I'm not concerned yet, but the offense has to be there if we want to win games. Has to. It can't be the 2021 Reds or the 2020 Reds, where it's just the offense just coasts on the pitching performances and lose to the Braves by not scoring a run in the postseason. So I'm not worried yet, Nick. I'm not worried.
Yeah, those last 2 relievers that the Reds faced, Gratterall and Phillips, man, they're having incredible years. Really, really good relievers. They're pretty much like both Alexis Diaz's. So, it's kind of, if you brought in 2 Alexis Diaz's, you would expect the Reds to shut them down, just like the Dodgers were able to, shut down the Reds today. I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot of other thoughts of this game. I mean, Fernando Cruz, he had pitched a really good inning, perfect inning, 2 strikeouts. Buck Farmer did a nice job. A really good night overall from the Reds pitching. Reds pitching really, I think in the series has pitched pretty well.
Yeah.
We were talking 7 runs in 2 games to the LA Dodgers. That's pretty solid. And you got a chance to win the series tomorrow. You win a series in Dodger Stadium. That's a pretty big deal. Let's just jump right into it. There's the talk around Reds country today, at least from my feeds. Justin Verlander. There's a rumor Reds are one of the, I think, 4 teams that were in on Justin Verlander. I think one of them was the Rangers. You would have to think that the Rangers are probably not in on Justin Verlander since they got Max Scherzer. Never know. I wouldn't say never say never on that front. But the rumor for the Reds is Cam Collier would be the player that the Mets were wanting in a deal. I mulled over this for a while. And I think if the Reds could get the same structure of a deal as the Rangers got, where you'd probably be getting about $30 million back for Verlander. So basically most of his salary next year would be paid for. And that would give the Reds flexibility to sign additional people. Because I don't think you want Justin Verlander to be your big main only spending next year.
Yeah.
I think it could be okay with giving away Collier. As much as I love him, as talented as he is, as much upside as he brings, I think I'm okay with bringing him, especially if maybe this offseason you look to replace at least part of Cam Collier's value to your farm system by trading Jonathan Idiot for maybe some lower level prospects back. I don't know. What's your thoughts on this one, Zebra?
I don't think it would be worth it. And I'm the first one out of the gate on the trade prospects guy. I don't think prospects, especially when you're that young, especially when you're as young as Cam Collier, a kid, his career really hasn't even started. I'm usually okay with it, but trading for a 40-year-old pitcher here for worth $45 million, obviously the Mets would eat, I don't know, $30 million, presumably, right? They'd have to. Nick Kral's not taking on $25+ million of Justin Verlander. I don't think it would be worth it. I don't think it would be worth it for this year. If you're looking at it in the large scheme of things for next season, maybe, right? But I don't think Justin Verlander makes this team an immediate World Series contender. I think he would be replacing Luke Weaver. Luke Weaver, a pitcher who the Reds have won 10 of his last 11 starts or something absurd like that. Granted, the runs, obviously the ERA would go down in that spot. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't think Justin Verlander takes the Reds to a World Series this year. So if you're looking at that, I don't do it. But if you're looking for next season and you have a healthy Nick Lodolo, a healthy Hunter Green on top of Graham Ashcraft, Andrew Abbott, maybe Connor Phillips. I don't know what Connor Phillips' deal will be. I don't know. I as of right now, I would say don't trade him. I would say do not trade him for Justin Verlander.
Okay. All right. It's interesting. I mean, Verlander is kind of one of these just weird pitchers where he's still having a lot of success late in his career, still able to get it. You'd have to really, I think, do your due diligence on his medical and how healthy you think he can bring. So you would still have him for next year. Next year he's obviously owed $43 million. Obviously, we'd be expecting the Mets to cover most of that. And the reason for that, it's not the Reds. Like, I think the Rangers would have taken on probably Max Scherzer's full salary. The Mets aren't wanting that. They want a prospect back. So it's not really about spending or not spending. It's about what the Mets want back in return.
Yeah.
And then Verlander actually has a vesting option for 2025 where $35 million at 42 years old. But he only hits that if he throws 140 innings in 2024. So if Verlander throws 140 innings in 2024, you're probably not as against the 2025. It probably is. It works in tandem of being good or terrible. And
for what it's worth, I think the Reds fan base would be over the moon about this. I would probably be happy about it, right? If Justin Verlander is in a Reds uniform come August, I'm going to be smiling about it. But I don't think Justin Verlander makes this team a World Series contender. Nick said it earlier. I think the Reds are. I think a left-handed reliever helps this team more than anything right now. So I don't know if you're willing to give away part of your future for a 45-year-old, $40 million player. Could they be? I would say maybe. Right? Nick Krall has turned over a new leaf. I think the attendance. Nick Krall said it. The attendance at Reds games it's going to help. It's going to help the books, right? It's going to be able to pay for a couple more players. Now, I don't know if it's going to get to $45 million, which is what he is owed, but I don't know. I think it could be fun. You could turn me on it. You could sway me on a Hall of Fame pitcher.
It's tough. This is the okay. So like Lucas Giolito, and there's a big difference between Lucas Giolito because Lucas Giolito is 2 months. That's it, and he's gone. Joseph Verlander, there is at least next year.
Correct.
And you obviously Justin Verlander, and you're hoping for healthy Hunter Green, healthy Nick Lodolo, and then you just need 2 more of Ashcraft, Williamson, Abbott, Connor Phillips. I mean, that's a lot of pitchers for really just 2 additional spots. I don't know, man. Verlander just feels different to me. And I don't know. Maybe I'm drinking into the Justin Verlander nostalgia here a little too much. But man, you get into a first round series and you're Verlander, Abbott, Hunter Green. I mean, that's where I'm like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, that's what sells me on the idea of it.
I'd want it. Listen to me. I'd love it. But would I do it right now? No, I don't know if I would. I don't think I would. I don't know. Would he be the only guy you give away in that scenario, right? Is it just Cam Collier for Verlander straight up, and then they eat the contract?
It can't be anything else of substantial value. It can't even be like Cam Collier and Rhys Hines. Like, no, It's got to be almost a 1-for-1, or it's someone, the Reds' 85th best prospect. That's about the Chucky Robinson. There we go.
No, not Chucky. No, not Chucky. Listen, Chucky Robinson. I mean, Matt Davidson and Chucky Robinson right now in AAA are putting up Hall of Fame numbers. Let Chucky Robinson cook down there, man. Brooks Raley. All right. Realistically, okay, Nick. Realistically, what is the move you expect the Reds to make?
I think they'll add 2 relievers.
2 relievers,
and I think they'll ship out one of Senzel, Newman, or India. I think if you were telling me what are the Reds going to do, they're going to get 2 relievers and 2 different trades or 1 trade. I don't know. They did it before. They got 2 from the Yankees in 1 swing.
Yeah.
And then I think they'll ship off one of those other guys for, I don't know, maybe prospects. It's hard to see like Nick Senzel getting a reliever. I mean, it's possible. It just, so many of those trades, it's so hard to know what other teams are exactly looking for and how the trades fit together.
Yeah.
Breaking news: Alex Wallace coming in. Jonathan India had an MRI tonight.
It's probably, you know what it is? It's probably an MRI for his heart. I mean, just the city just broke this guy's spirit, broke his will. Trace Fowler comes in. I mean, we're going to get to September, and it's going to be day 162 of Trace Fowler just ripping my guy, Jonathan India. So his spirit, his heart, it's just hurt. His feelings are hurt. I think you tweeted it, Nick. I don't think the Reds will trade Jonathan India at the deadline. I don't think Krall is going to rush to trade a guy that arguably has a ton of value to a majority of the teams in Major League Baseball. I don't think Nick Krall is going to do that. I think the plan, again, this is your tweet. You said you would trade him in the offseason for a couple prospects, get maybe a couple arms for him, and then at the deadline you trade. I don't know who you'd trade. I guess you throw Senzel and Newman and pray somebody wants it. But dealing with heel soreness, okay. I don't know how much I buy into the heel soreness thing, but I do think Jonathan India is going to be a Red come August. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's trending more and more that way. I think it made sense to shop him, but I think probably right now you're not going to get what you either want back, and I do think I'm starting to get concerned that the Reds might need another bat.
That's what I was going to ask you that.
I think we were so excited about this young, exciting lineup, but you're kind of looking up and down. Joey Votto has not looked good at all of late. CES has not tore the cover off the ball.
No.
That's 2 players right there. And then you also injuries could happen. I don't necessarily want, as much as I haven't given up on Jose Barrero, I don't necessarily want to be rushing Jose Barrero back in the lineup if you have a couple injuries and then, Votto just never figures out, or CES just actually looks like a normal rookie and not like all these other rookies that just come up and, hit the ground running and have been outstanding. So I don't know. I'm kind of
I think that's a sleeper move there. I think Jonathan India could maybe get me an outfielder. I don't know what we could get, but I do think there's a chance Jonathan India can get me a mid-tier outfielder in the MLB. He can be a right-handed bat, hopefully, right? We need that. But I don't know. I would agree. I think an outfielder would help this team tremendously, or at least somebody who could fill in at maybe first base, just a utility guy. Maybe Kyle Farmer. Can we get Kyle Farmer back? Let's bring him back. The fan base hated Kyle Farmer. Let's bring him back.
I think Kevin Newman has better numbers than Kyle Farmer.
No, Nick, don't you dare. Nick, don't you dare disrespect Kyle Farmer. He was in Blindside, Nick. He was in Blindside.
I'm looking this up. Let's see.
No way.
Last I checked, oh no, Kyle's been on a tear of late. All right.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
He's up to a 99 OPS plus. He's on fire.
This is God's country. That's right, Kyle. Let's go, baby.
But does Farmer still have those incredible, left-handed splits like Newman has this year? I mean, that's
maybe not
out of this world. Out of this world.
Is Nick Senzel one of the biggest busts that the Reds have had over the past 20 years? I'm trying to think of one, and I think Nick Senzel is the singular biggest bust that we have had, that we have drafted over the past 2 decades.
Wouldn't Brandon Larson, is he within the last 20 years?
I don't know. I don't remember Brandon Larson. I don't know how far away that was.
Well, Brandon Larson. His last year with the Reds was 2004. He was what pick number was he? He was the 14th overall pick, so he was a little bit, obviously farther down, but he had a career 50 OPS plus with the Reds. So
Nick Senzel, the best ability is availability. Nick Senzel never available for his career and can't hit against right-handed pitching, except for last year.
This year. Yeah, I mean, Nick Senzel's at least been a valuable piece to this team. I mean, he's not what you were expecting, but the guy has a 944 OPS against left-handed pitching this year. So
it's fair.
He's found a role, and he's done very well in that role. I think Nick Senzel. I think you have an opportunity to trade Nick Senzel, and I think I'd probably take it if you could get anything back of value this year. And it's not really necessarily about this year as much as Nick Senzel is going to probably start to get next year a little more expensive than you would want to pay a guy that's going to be a utility backup player, because he was already over $2 million in arbitration, just more because of some of his pedigree, and he had some success at certain times.
Yeah,
but I do think he kind of gets into a difficult spot there.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Who do you think? All right, here's a question for you. I was thinking about this the other day. Hunter Green's going to come back. They said the date. Charlie Goldsmith said the date was August 20th. Who do we think moves to the bullpen? Because Vladimir Gutierrez is going to come back, right? I think, presumably. TJ Antone, presumably going to come back. Who moves out of the bullpen, and who from the starting rotation goes to the bullpen? Obliterating preseason expectations. Stop the worrying, stop the hate. I agree, Michael Rolfe.
So, I mean, we're assuming there's no starting pitcher added.
Correct. In this scenario, there's no starting pitcher added.
I mean, Luke Weaver's obviously the first one gone.
Yep. I would agree. I think
it's more exciting if we say who's the next one. So let's say Hunter Green comes back and Connor Phillips gets called up. Then
yeah.
Who's the next? That's the more interesting. I think it's pretty obvious. It's Luke Weaver. I think it's obviously it's between Lively and Williamson. I actually think I'd be more inclined for Williamson for 2 reasons. Number one, Williamson, you probably are going to get to a point this year where you're going to want to kind of limit his innings.
Yeah.
And number 2, you could use another lefty reliever. Kind of solves 2 problems. Ben Lively, hey Ben, throw as many innings as you can, brother. You know, what do you think?
I think it'll be Williamson that moves to the pen. I assume the Reds get one reliever at this deadline. Whether it be right or left would change that prediction. But as of right now, I would think Williamson goes to the pen. I think if Nick Lodolo comes back, Nick, I think there's a chance Nick Lodolo would go to the bullpen as well. I don't know what would be the merit of that, but I do think him coming off an injury in September would warrant a bullpen spot. I think his stuff's dirty enough to be there, and I'm not going to give him a spot over Ashcraft. I'm not going to give him a spot over Green, Abbott. At this point, I don't know if I give him a spot over Williamson. So he's a guy I think that could help this bullpen tremendously too. Lefty arm, nasty stuff.
I'm for Lodolo in the bullpen if it gets him back quicker. That's more. The thing that made it interesting is they moved up the timeline of him to the end of August. So I'm like, but I'll say this. This might be a hot take.
Oh.
I would take Nick Lodolo over any starter in the Reds rotation. That includes Andrew Abbott, if he's fully healthy. I mean, I know Abbott's been great, but let's not forget our expectations of Nick Lodolo, what they were 3 months ago. I mean, we were talking about Nick Lodolo as a future all-star pitcher, and the guy had a couple bad starts, got hurt.
Oh, Nick, I don't know.
Are you really telling me?
Andrew Abbott's game 1 starter in a playoff game. He's game 1 starter.
Right now, yeah, no question about it. But I'm just saying, if I had to project, I'm talking about project, not what have you done. I'm talking about project. If you had to tell me Nick Lodolo is going to be fully healthy, I'm not talking like, working through his first couple starts, whatever. You're talking Nick Lodolo's fully healthy, Andrew Abbott's fully healthy. I'm still thinking that Nick Lodolo is going to outpitch Andrew Abbott. Okay. But I
agree. I agree with you. I think Nick Lodolo, and I think based on what everybody was saying before the season, I still think majority of the fan base is with you that he's supposed to be the prince that was promised. He's supposed to be our number 1 guy. Saying that, I don't think there's a scenario off an injury. If he's healthy next season, he's not taking the ball on opening day. I don't think so.
Well, opening day is a different.
I don't think it is, though. I don't think it is. It's pretty similar to game 1 of the postseason, right?
No. Opening day can be more of a merit earned thing. That's fine. It doesn't matter who starts opening day and who starts the second game. It matters nothing. Like, I think this year they did it more for. I think most people coming to this year had higher expectations for Nick Lodolo than Hunter Green. And I think right now it probably feels a little weird to say that, but I think if you rewind the tape, I think you would have a lot of people saying that back in February.
I think you're right. And I think I was one of those people, by the way.
I was one of those people. But I think that David Bell started Hunter Green on opening day this year more as a confidence booster, which I'm fine with. I have no problem using opening day as that thing. But, okay, let's move aside that. I definitely take Nick Lodolo over Graham Ashcraft. I know Ashcraft's been great his last 5 starts, but he was really terrible the last 10 starts before that.
You're right.
Nick Lodolo is so much higher of a ceiling. So that's why I don't know, man.
Off an injury, so we're saying off an injury, we'd agree that it would be an okay move. We'd be okay with Nick Lodolo to the bullpen. If he's healthy, certainly better than Ashcraft. That's what we've come to the conclusion here. That's fair.
I definitely have no problem moving to the bullpen if you go out and get Justin Verlander. That really makes that a much easier move because then you have Verlander, Abbott, Green.
Yes.
All right.
By the way, Reed Mouse coming in here.
Yeah, that was my next thing. So you know what? Well, let's bring it up. Where's he at? Cubs. All right, Reed Mouse. Let's get into it here, brother. I'm so happy for you that your $200 million roster has got within 3 games of the Reds. Wow. and you needed to win 8 in a row to get to that point. 8 in a row just to get within 3 games of the lowly Cincinnati Reds that you said was a joke of an organization all year. Reed, I don't know how many times how many times you're going to have to learn your lesson on this. You're just setting up fate for the Cubs to make this incredible run up to the trade deadline, not trade anyone, hurt their future, and then go out and lose 8 in a row to start the second half and never have a chance. Like, you are setting yourself up, man. You are setting yourself up, and it's going to be beautiful. And I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it, Reed. I really am. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to relish it. It's going to be just a magical time to watch the Cubs mortgage their future and still not even get a damn thing out of it. It's going to be great. Looking forward to it.
I think there's something in the drinking water in Chicago when you go 200 plus years without a World Series victory and then you win one. And then you think, oh, we're the best team that's ever been, ever was. And then Reed Mouse is born. That character, that shtick he puts on the show every day, he's just created by it. And I don't understand it. The Cubs are a joke. They've always been a joke. They always will be a joke. I think Steve Bartman has been wronged. I want justice for Steve Bartman. I know they offered him a World Series ring. I want more. I want more for Steve Bartman. They kicked that guy right out of the stadium, right out of the city. He's in a locked box in Iowa somewhere because the Cubs disrespected him. So I don't know. The Cubs, you have your fun with your little bullpen dance when a team hits a home run. You have your little fun with a celebrity singing, "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" every 7th inning. Other than that, you're nothing. Congratulations on the Ivy, losers.
8 in a row, and they're only within 3 games of the Reds. 8 wins in a row. That's tough, man.
And a team that was predicted 64 wins by Las Vegas. You can't even come within 2? Whew.
Yeah. Whew, that's tough. I will say though, Steve Bartman, if you are listening, we'd love to have you as a Reds fan. Yep. I think we could probably work out a deal with Betfred Sportsbook to
that's right.
Find Steve Bartman his own season ticket package. I think he'd be a wonderful addition to the Reds fan base, and we welcome those. We're a welcoming organization. We're not a hateful organization. So,
Steve Bartman, please come. I'll buy all your tickets. I'll buy all your hot dogs. 3-2-1 night. It's a great promotion. You should come. We'll embrace you. We'll embrace you in Cincinnati. More than that rat town Chicago has ever embraced you. So come on over.
For sure. All right. Give me another thought on this game before we get into some Reds minor league. Give me something else.
All right. Give me something else. All right. 162 games. Baseball, there's going to be weird games like this where arguably you play the better game and you just lose. It doesn't go your way. This is one of those games. I think the Reds are going to be okay. I think they're going to win tomorrow. We'll get into the probable starters here in a second. But I do think the Reds win tomorrow. I think they take on the next series against the lowly Cubs. I think we're okay. Everybody relax, calm down. I said it before the series. I wanted only one win against the city of Los Angeles, the city of angels, the city of stars. So take your win. We're going to win tomorrow. Take 2 wins, right back on track. If it weren't for the Brewers, if the Brewers didn't exist, the Reds would be, a number 2 seed in the postseason. So that sucks. But other than that, I love our chances. Everybody calm down. Everybody relax about Ellie. Ellie's going to be okay. Spencer Steer's going to be okay. By the way, if starting pitching continues like this, I love our chances in the postseason against literally every team except for the Braves. Literally every single team. So bring it on, baby. Bring it on. Cincinnati, we're just getting started.
All right. Love it. Reds MLB presented by Betfred Sportsbook. Louisville Bats, they lost 6-3 to Indianapolis. Noelvi Marte 0-2, did walk twice, stole his 15th bag of the year. Jose Barrero 0-4. Stuart Fairchild did not play in this one. Levi Stout, he had a really solid outing. A guy that maybe we've forgotten about, is still a top Reds prospect, could potentially also be some additional help in the rotations here. Goes on, pitched really well. 4 innings pitched, just allowed 1 run, 1 walk, and struck out 4. So really nice evening for Mr. Stout. Chattanooga, they won 6-3 over Montgomery. Joe Boyle, really strong start from him. 5 innings, just 2 hits, 1 earned run, only 2 walks, which is his big concern, and struck out 9. Really strong outing by Joe Boyle. And Blake Dunn, his incredible season continued. 3 for 3, hit his 14th home run of the year, and stole his 42nd base. Re-signs was 0 for 4 in this one. High A, the Dayton Dragons, they won 5-2 over Great Lakes. Chase Petty, 3 innings, just 1 run allowed, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Edwin Arroyo had a big night, 3 for 4. Hit his 9th home run of the year, also doubled and walked. And then the Daytona Tortugas, as much talent as they've had a pretty rough year. They lost 20-4 to Lakeland today. Sal Stewart, though, did hit his 10th home run of the year. Victor Acosta, 1 for 3, stole a base. And then one other note in the ACL, we don't usually talk too much about the Arizona Complex League, but TJ Antone pitched today. Rough one for him. Only got 1 out, 3 hits, 3 runs. No walks, though. Just strike out 1. He gave up a home run in that one. That was his 2nd outing back, and I believe he's heading to Louisville next week. So yeah, we'll check out Mr. Antone.
The ACL, they call that the Derrick Rose League. All right, so we're gonna go Chucky Robinson. I noticed you mentioned you didn't mention Chucky Robinson, 2 for 4 tonight. He is now batting .330 with an .890 OPS. Nick, do you have any thoughts on Chucky Robinson? Some are saying he's the next great catcher.
He's solid depth.
Okay, all right. So all we got to do is remove Kirk Casale. We trade Tyler Stevenson to Oakland. Him and Jonathan India, package deal. They restock our vending machines in the clubhouse for those 2 guys. We bring up Chucky Robinson, and we're back on track. We bring up Noelvi, and it's just like, boom, future, back on.
Louisville's, man, there's some weird numbers in Louisville this year. Look at Matt Reynolds' numbers, man.
He's a Hall of Famer. He's having the best season of all time.
It's so hard to know what's real and what's not down there, man. I tell you what, like TJ Hopkins, like some of these dudes, their numbers are just insane. There's definitely the AAA in the big leagues. I will tell you that. And so I always but then you see, like Matt McClain, crushed it in AAA and came up and crushed the big leagues. Ellie De La Cruz, for the most part, I think he has too. So I don't know. It's hard to know. All right. Tomorrow, Graham Ashcraft. He's been great. Michael Grove for the Dodgers. Grove, he's got a 6.19 ERA. But he does have a 3.66 ERA in July. He's got 19 strikeouts, just 5 walks. Grove was the Dodgers' number 19 prospect entering the season. He made his MLB debut in May 2022, and he's really been up and down since. So hopefully he's a guy the Reds can get to a little bit tomorrow. And then Reds love Graham Ashcraft, who's just been incredible of late. Last 5 starts, gone 30 innings. He's got a 2.10 ERA. Ashcraft's only career start against the Dodgers was actually that start that he left early after he got hit in that comebacker. He allowed 3 earned runs in 2 2/3 innings in that. Ashcraft has also pitched better on the road this year. He's got a 4.30 ERA on the road, 6.71 at home. So hopefully good things out of our guy, Graham Ashcraft. Any thoughts on this one tomorrow?
I think the Reds win. I think Graham Ashcraft has been one of the best pitchers in baseball since his last, 3 starts for sure, 4 starts. So I love the Reds' chances. I think Michael Grove and the rest of this Dodgers bullpen, I think most of them outside of the 2 guys we faced tonight have struggled. Their ERA is not much worse than ours. We're both bottom 20 ERAs in baseball. I think the Reds knock them around a little bit. I think it'll be, you know what? I predict a dunk for Trace tomorrow. I predict a dunk. I predict a win for the Reds. I predict the pillow of Nicolas Cage. Tomorrow's going to be a good day. Going to be a very good day.
I agree. I think it will be a good day for our beloved Cincinnati Reds as well. Also on tomorrow's post-game show, we're going to be joined by Jack McMullen. He is the AAA voice of the Indianapolis Indians. So he has watched Noelvi Marte, watched Connor Phillips this week. He also does
Chucky Robinson.
I will be sure he'll be the first player I ask him about. But he's going to join myself and Trace tomorrow. I'm excited to kind of hear his thoughts on his observation. Also, a guy who covers baseball on a national perspective or just baseball.com. So kind of have some good perspective there on what he saw this week. So, Elliot, any final thoughts?
It's a tough loss. They happen. There's 162 games. You're not going to win 162. It's just an unlucky baseball loss. It's a classic loss. You outplay the other team. You lose the game. That's okay. We move on to tomorrow. Short memory, like a goldfish, baby. Like a goldfish.
Like a goldfish. I love it. Well, as always, hey, make sure you like the stream. On the way, I haven't even asked all night. So if you're still here and you haven't liked it, I don't know what you're doing. Hit that like button. And, of course, subscribe. Chatterbox Reds, everywhere you get podcasts. The only Cincinnati Reds podcast that after every single game, you can find in your podcast feed in the morning. It'll be there tomorrow morning, bright and early when you wake up. So make sure you're subscribed. Give us a 5-star review. We would really appreciate that. Well, thanks, Elliot. Thanks, everyone, for joining us here. Elliot, you got a final thought for us?
Yeah, let's try to end it with a Trace monologue. You know, you look at this Reds team, and you think that, wow, we're supposed to win 64 games, not going to be a great year. Wrong. This team's coming for the pennant. It's coming for the National League pennant. They're coming for the World Series. We're not stopping now. This loss will only stall. This is a minor comeback for a major whatever. I lost it. I lost the words. All the words are gone. Music's getting louder. We're dancing. See you tomorrow, roughly 7 o'clock. Nick Kirby, Trace Fowler.